This is Skinless, the guild leader for Eternal Alliance, as well as Cluster Lead, and I have another video here for you for the TB aspects when it comes down to the Separatist Might. There is an SM here in Phase 4 that I'd like to kind of go a little over mods with and then kind of show you some of what I do. So the biggest thing is I messed up on my original recording, and I realized I was not recording for the first bit of a phase for the wave 1. And this is the team specifically that I use when it comes down to beating the special mission, as well as then I can use my additional separatists for the Dooku mission in the mid. So specifically for this purpose, I'm going to go ahead and show the mods first, and I'm going to kind of show you how you can go ahead and beat the SM. Now, this is just a team that I find to work really, really well. You don't have to. A lot of people use like a Newt lead. I prefer Newt for my Dooku mission, but little things to look at here. So I have my R7 Grievous, and within R7 Grievous, I have a few different stats here. I mean, his health is super important. Damage is great, but once you start getting into the higher relics, I mean, you're obviously going to get higher damage. The biggest thing is going to be the health. It's making sure he has full health mods to make him work really, really well. Magna Guard is your other tanky individual. I have him R5. I could beat this mission back when he was R3. I never really tried beforehand. Based upon I was working on gas, but so I've got a lot of protection and health on him. He can be slow as all hell. It's just specifically that you need to have the health and protection for. Then you go and do the B1, and with B1, I mean, these pieces don't really matter. The speed is a little fast sometimes, but you know, I like the concept of being able to heal quickly. So if you're in a TB run, speed is important. For other modes, not so much. And I actually have lower damage than a lot of people. A lot of people like to put about the 9,000 point on his physical offense. So I can still get away with it very easily with the higher speed and the damage along with critical chance. As far as for B2, another one I need to gear 13, I'm sure. Potency all the way is what I've gone with, and slow as all hell. But the thing is, he gets some bonus turns in there. You want his potency up so you can get specifically the aspects of the ability blocks on the opponents. He doesn't do a whole ton of damage, but at the same time, he has his purpose based on dispels and for the ability block. So you look at Watt here, and actually I need to add a few pieces on there. Watt any faster as best as you can. The faster you go, the better. I do it with a gear 12. Gear 13 is highly recommended. But this is at least a start. Physical damage and offense don't really mean shit, because at the end of the day, he's only there to apply a few things. So you need him to literally apply his 3 pieces, and then do some healing and maybe some revives if you can. I was able to do this back when I had like a gear 8 almost. I mean, I'm sure there's some limitations within it, but I mean, the concept is as long as you have his, his Zeta and have all of his Omegas, you're ready to roll with him. It's actually the very first Zeta I always recommend if you happen to have him. So, without further ado, like I said, my video was a little messed up initially, but let's go ahead and look at the actual run itself. The biggest thing I need to show here, like I said, I screwed up on the recording. So within this here, the specifics are going to be, you need to use Watt with a Zeta to apply the Blast Tech to B1 and the Med Pack to your IG 100, and then you want to use the Biotech on your B2, which is your B2 is your battle rate. So at least that way you can use him as your taunting aspect that is revivable. So with the 2 taunts, it keeps your Watt safe as well as it keeps everyone else kind of going. So with him, what I'm kind of doing here, and you're able to see, is that this team, I feel like, works extremely well. And you can still do really well in Dooku CM in the mid while still doing this SM in this case. So here you can see the pieces applied and kind of some of the kill orders and the expectations that kind of go along with it. I'll narrate as needed, but really what it comes down to is going to be healing your Magna Guard, healing your B2 Super Battle Droid, and then the occasional healing on Watt. Watt's going to heal everyone else for the most part and remove all the debuffs, but he did really, really well as making sure that this is a large survivability game. It's a little bit less of a quality video than I normally would run with, and I apologize for that. As, I know many of you see some of my other ones in a little bit of a lapse of part of my premium sound quality, but at the same time, this is a really wonderful team that I use constantly to beat the SM. Now, you can use a Newt lead. I've actually found it less effective in my opinion, but that's just depending. I had a Gear 11 Watt last time I just actually upgraded, but you want to go ahead and take out your arc as soon as possible. Try to at least, debuff him, whatever you can. Your medic next. And the medics are always annoying as all hell, but you can usually get around them pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let some of the beats play, as it goes, and kind of jump in where needed, especially when the B2 Super Battle Droid dies.
The Techno-Union Army is at your disposal now.
Alright, so big thing here that everyone will notice is that with the B2 Super Battle Droid, we only have 10% left, or 10% total towards the next piece. So what I've gone and done is, you'll see in a moment when we get a chance with Watt, I've gone ahead and I've reapplied his ability to General Grievous for additional survivability. That way, just in case I get terrible RNG, it gives me a chance to properly still finish the SM, which I've never failed with this composition specifically. And right there, that's a successful run. So I hope that you enjoyed.